India's parliament is about to change. Not next year, not in a decade, but in the very near future. Once the census that is currently underway delivers its numbers, when what happens, the way Lok Sabha seats are distributed across this country will be redrawn for the first time since 1971. And the states that will feel it most are the ones in the south. That is not a prediction. Both sides of the debate agree on it. Where they disagree is on who is to blame and whether anything can still be done. That argument became very public in Andhra Pradesh when Senator Lokesh and senior Congress leader P. Chidambaram went on each other on social media over the delimitation bill that was defeated in the parliament last month. Senator Lokesh's position is straightforward. The 1971 census freeze is ending. Once it ends, seats will be redrawn on the basis of population. The South, which spent 50 years controlling its population, will lose ground to the north, which did not. Now, the NDA's delimitation bill was an attempt to prevent that. Congress and the opposition blocked it. So if the South loses representation, Lokesh argues the responsibility sits squarely with the parties that voted the bill down. Chidambaram's counter is equally direct. He says that math does not support Lokesh's reading. The opposition did not block a pro-South bill. It blocked a bill that even on the government's own numbers would have reduced the South's relative strength in parliament. More seats on paper, yes, but a smaller share in a larger house. He calls that an illusion, not a safeguard. And when Lokesh came back with a question that Chidambaram was not fully answered, if the bill was bad, what is the Congress's plan? Delimitation is not optional, it is constitutional. Now, the freeze ends whether Parliament votes on it or not. Opposing a bill without offering an alternative is not protection, it is politics. The government says that the Lok Sabha would have expanded from 543 seats to 816. Southern states, which currently hold 129 seats, would have gone up to 195. The overall share of South in the new House would have stayed close to 24%. The government calls that the balance preserved. Now, the opposition reads the same numbers differently. If the South share of parliament stays at 24% in a House of 816, while northern states with fast-growing population gain seats in absolute terms, the South's influence over legislation, over budget allocations, over policy priorities shrinks. You can have more MPs and less power at the same time. That is exactly what the opposition says this formula would have produced. The opposition preferred solution is a formula that does not treat population as the only measure. They want a development index, tax contributions, and decades of successful population control to count for something so far. No such formula has been tabled, agreed upon, or put to vote. The big questions that we are asking: will the South actually lose political power in Delhi after delimitation, even if it gets more seats in absolute terms? Is population control being punished, or is it simply the democratic principle of one person, one vote? What is fair way to balance the rising aspirations of North India with the developmental achievements of the South? Now, to discuss more on this, we have Deepak Reddy, spokesperson for the TDP, K.S. Prasad, political analyst, who also joins us. Deepak Reddy, what is it that you see after delimitation? A South that has got a reduced leverage when it comes to the parliament. Is that how we are looking at?
Varghese ji, today I would like to take some time and explain so that the people understand the crooked and the evil intentions of the Congress party. If you see the bill which was placed, 50% of the seats would be going up. That means we have 129 now, it would go to 194, which would be the percentage, would be 23.76. The same percentage representation for South India would have been maintained. But if the bill, since the bill is defeated, and now we are exposed to the constitutional, a shield what we had all this while, and if the government goes ahead with the latest statistics, latest survey after it's done, it is shocking that our representation from 129, it might fall to as low as 102 if it is at the same numbers of 543. So that would be 18.78% representation, which would be a drop of 4.98 overall on India and 21% drop as far as the current levels are concerned. So this is something which would be 100% unacceptable to all the South Indian states. And the evil intention of the Congress party is that the South Indian states should rise in revolt against North. This is the evil intention of the Congress and the India alliance. That is the reason they have defeated this bill and exposed all the South Indian states to this risk, which is something which we cannot accept. And that is exactly what Lokesh ji has tweeted, saying that what is the reason for you to defeat it? We had a protection where they said they are going to maintain the numbers, and our percentage would have been maintained on the whole. So it's absolutely unacceptable. And the Congress party and the India ecosystem has played a dirty game. And that is exactly what I would like the people of India to realize, and especially the people of South India to realize. These
Well,
are my opening comments.
all right. We have K.S. Prasad, who's a political analyst as well. K.S. Prasad, how do you in fact see it? Is it, our leverage, especially when it comes to the South states, the southern states are going to lose leverage in the parliament?
Good evening, sir, and good evening to the co-panelists and good evening to the viewers. As far as southern states is concerned, the number may increase. It doesn't mean that we'll get a proper role. It needs to be played in as far as central politics are concerned. When it comes to Lokesh versus Chidambaram, it's very clear. Father's friend has become son's foe. It's nothing more than that. This is how we need to look at it. The increase of number of seats, it's just like a gift which is no value at all. As far as the share of southern states, what we are contributing as far as Indian economy is concerned, we are the only people who are paying proper taxes as far as southern states are concerned. As Mr. Deepak said very clearly that it might be an 18% hike, 129 will become 195. The vital role, what we need to play in national politics. First of all, the combined state itself holds a vital role with a huge number of parliament seats. There we used to dictate. As far as Telugu Desam is concerned, United Front, after that national NDA, which has a vital role which was played by Telugu Desam. Even after, with the support of Telugu Desam itself, central government is sustained. In particular, there is no vital role as far as Telugu Desam is concerned in central politics. Hardly we got some couple of ministers which of no use, civil aviation, which of no use and no fun at all. Ramon Naid has become just like a puppet on a private show. He is making his face and nothing is happening. If it comes to central government's taxes versus what we are contributing from the southern states, hardly we are getting peanuts. The population situations are come. We are the only people who have taken a proper stand not to increase the population. But other than northern states and eastern states, whomever you name it as, their population has gone abnormally. Only southern states have sacrificed. At this particular scenario, what for the increasing of seats? Deepak Reddy may get an MLA seat or MP seat. It doesn't make any sense to the Tadipatri radius and as far as Anantapur radius is concerned. Increasing of number of states. That experiment is already done by Mr. Ravant Reddy in Telangana. Only corporation seats got increased. Instead of having a hold on 4 to 5 states, he has been reduced to 2 or 3 states. What for it is? Just increasing the number of corporators. No use of at all. As far as central politics are concerned, if they, without considering the southern states, their what you call abnormal majority will itself comes from Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and Madhya Pradesh itself. They have been decided. It is nothing but a deciding factor. After demolishing the entire Congress and regional parties from the respective states, now they are playing a vital game as far as 1971 and 75 and recent past and before the population counting in 2011. Why they are not counting the population and what you call caste calculation? Basing on that, if they can take a call. Before that, if they declare the delimitation, basing on the calculations of the West Bengal people and what you call Bihari people and Orissa people who are all staying in Hyderabad, just they consider them, they are being Andhrites. And population based, what Mr. Chandrababu is stating very clearly that increase the population by producing another 3 and 4 kids, we are giving some incentives and other things. It is not a question of incentives. It is a question of population distribution to the respective states, and devolution funds needs to be segregated to the state's population. If you really count the Telugu state's population, hardly it never crosses 5 and 6 crores. But other people who are all staying, and they happen to be here from the years together and decades together. Today's technology, it's a matter of fact for them. If Biharians have been staying here for a couple of years, please consider them they have been Andhrites. As far as central devolution funds are concerned, basing on the population, just disbursed. Then it will be an equilibrium will be maintained. If you really calculate the 2011 onwards, 2026, if you calculate the census, obviously the populations will increase by considering the other state people to the respective state. It's a matter of fact, deleting it from the respective state where they have been working. give a privilege to the respective state
I
to
get
get a
that
count
part
of.
of it. I get that part of it, yes, Prasad. But the question over here is, this is going to be a very big issue in this country post 2026. And for all the five southern states, it's going to be a very big issue regarding how much of representation or legislative influence they'll be able to have on policies when it comes to the parliament in Delhi. And it's going to be huge. There is going to be debate. There is going to be identities pitted against each other, saying that who was taking care of whom, where the jobs are created, why we are being punished, why you're taking the money. All this is going to come. Now, the concern should be is this going to open up a fault line that we cannot close, unnecessary fault line which we cannot close? Yes, Deepak Reddy.
Varghese, that is exactly what the evil intentions of Congress and the India ecosystem is. I mean, let's be very frank. Under Article 81.
See, I understood
under
what you were
Article
trying to
81,
say. Now,
we have the
even
protection.
I understood.
Yeah,
I understand what you're trying to say, because
yeah.
even in that formulation of saying that the number of seats will be increased for each state, when it comes to a massive increase of, like, if you're going towards 800, the situation is quite the same, in the sense that, I think I made a small calculation about
Yeah.
the numbers. I think it's almost
The
right now
percentage
it's around
would be the same.
29% or something. I think the southern states all combined would be able to have.
Today we stand at 129 seats with 23.76% of the whole, and the same percentage would be maintained.
Will be maintained when you're looking at the complete percentage.
The
when
1971, the earlier one.
But
if it
still,
is the
when
latest
once,
statistics,
but still,
if it is the latest statistics, it's like disastrous. It's going to drop to 18.78. Almost 21% of our existing representation would go. So it is a disaster. And that is something which cannot be accepted. And one thing I would like to say is the similar issue when it came up during Vajpayee ji's tenure. Chandrababu Naidu ji has convinced Vajpayee ji, saying that we should not be persecuted for maintaining the guidelines of Government of India, and the same status quo has to be maintained. And Vajpayee ji has accepted that. So now what has happened is when a similar thing would have been taken forward, and Congress has defeated the bill, exposing us to a risk. So after the present census is concluded, and that provision of Article 81 is gone, then we are exposing ourselves to a risk. Why did the Congress do that? I mean, it is
let us in fact
injustice
get K.S.
to
Prasad
South
on
India.
that. He wanted to reply on that. Yes, K.S. Prasad.
No. Deepak is concerned more about number of seats being increased. I'm not bothered for the increasing of seats. It's the question of state concern. Again, the population, as Mr. Chandrababu Naidu has called very categorically, that produce third and fourth kids. When it will be? Before that, again, we are about to be sufferers. It's not the question of suffering. Disbursement of population.
So, K.S. Prasad, are you saying that, who is going to face punishment for actually succeeding?
The other states, north states and other south states, if you really compare it, they are in the vital role of taking a huge advantage. If you really can't disbursement, making a disbursement of people around. If you really look at it, in 2011, the last population calculation, it is 117 crores. Today, at an aggregate, we may around 150 crores. The 33 crores are being segregated in various pockets of entire motherland of India. These people give a privilege. As per the constitution, I have a right to live any place. I have a right to purchase any land or property in. If the same needs to be applied for the people who are being paying respective taxes in the respective state, give a privilege to be considered as a respective state person. And in particularly Telangana and Andhra Pradesh is concerned, the people like West Bengal, Orissa, Assam, and northeastern states, people are living and they're working for years together. And they are in the hotel industry.
No, that is there in all the southern states. You have, populations from other this thing, and even southern populations are also in those states. So that is going to be, to say that should be something to be criteria. I think that is going to be a little limited when we look into it. But the larger question is, who is being punished? Why is South being punished for not following a guideline, which was very important when it was put into place, especially talking about the resources that we had, the kind of job situation that we were looking. Why is it that happening now? The question we are asking is a post-mortem question. The death has already happened.
I'm very clear. We are the only people who are following the guidelines, restricting the population. But we are the sufferers. Even after even in the year of 2026 also, we are not being considered. The disbursements of funds from the various places, if you really pay 100 rupees tax, how much you are getting it? If you really look at it as a Madhya Pradesh, and if they pay 100 rupees, they are getting almost 914 rupees. If you really look at it as Uttar Pradesh, how much they are getting? Bihar, how much they are getting? Compared to southern states, we are the only people pumping from various provinces to respective motherland of India, and those people have been privileged. The population needs to be considered. The caste-wise calculation needs to be done. The reservations needs to be properly implemented. Then, if you really look into the allocations, the 33% of women reservation, BC reservation, or SC/ST reservation, whatever you name it as, end of the day, each pocket needs to be enhanced in the motherland. All these are happened only in the state of Congress only. Deepak is might be forgetting when his political scenario has been established in Congress itself. Today he's taking a shelter in Telugu Desam doesn't mean that. The populations and the calculations which were implemented properly only in Congress tenure. As an analyst, I've been very clear and categorically saying
Right, right.
there is no ideology. There is no implementations.
Right.
Today, they're taking all sort of excuses.
Yeah.
What were their consent if delimitation bill has been implemented in Parliament?
Mr. K.S. Prasad, I have to cut you short because I have very less time in the show right now. In fact, I get the aspect of it. My concern is that the death has occurred. We cannot reverse the population kind of a situation that is there. The question is, we are all asking a post-mortem question, and it's a worrying post-mortem question as to what this could lead to when actually the Article 81 protection is lost, and then you go by population to go ahead with the delimitation process, what it's going to lead to. My worry is that how it is going to lead to, because the southern states are not going to, in fact, keep quiet about it. The northern states have been asking for a long time that they require more representation because of their population. But how it can be met on a middle ground, well, we don't have those answers right now. Well, let's see how that will hold out in the future. Thank you, gentlemen, for in fact joining us. That is all that was there in your interest.